What's poppin', Carolina Nation and all my Pantherologists? Welcome to today's video of my most updated trade offers for the Carolina Panthers to acquire Deshaun Watson. Obviously, you can tell I freaking want Deshaun Watson because I keep making videos about him. But y'all seem to enjoy him too. You've been giving me a lot of views, a lot of support on him, and a lot of comments and everything. So I appreciate that too. So also, be on the lookout for the new videos. So if you haven't pounded the like button, pound the subscribe button, commented, or even click that post notifications bell, do that so that you get, especially with the post notifications, you get the new videos when they come out. Then comment down below. I always like to hear your, my audience's opinions. And always pound that like button, pound the subscribe button, especially if you're new to the channel. So, anyways, let's dive into this video. My 3 updated trade offers for the Carolina Panthers to acquire Deshaun Watson. All right. So, as we all know, there's a lot of new information about what the Houston Texans want for Deshaun Watson, which has emerged as of lately. But the thing is will the Carolina Panthers meet these demands? Now, it is a little bit clear as to what the Carolina Panthers might need to get caught up in their pursuit of the Houston Texans quarterback, Deshaun Watson. Now, the asking price for the player is incredibly high, which is to be expected given his talent and the fact he's only just entering his prime. But whether any team across the league can meet these demands is another matter entirely. And we've seen that, especially with the Stafford trade, right? So, I mean, this will be something for the Panthers to ponder in the coming weeks. They are clearly in the market for a new player at that position after Teddy Bridgewater's inconsistent 2020 campaign, with reports emerging that they were willing to give the Detroit Lions the number 8 overall selection in the 2021 draft, and more for Matthew Stafford. It appears, though, the organization is willing to make some incredible sacrifices to get the production under center, right? So I was reading, and according to John McClain of the Houston Chronicle, the Texans are looking for at least 2 first-round picks, a pair of second-rounders, and a couple of talented defensive players thrown in for good measure. A high price, I think, indeed, but one that the Panthers might be willing to pay to land an elite quarterback who could transfer the fortunes of the franchise, right? There will still be a lot of teams looking to make a deal despite the extortionate compensation they'll have to part with, right? But players like Watson just don't grow on trees, and they really rarely become available at this stage of their careers. So, moving heaven and earth to acquire the stars, something almost everybody in the league will contemplate, to be honest. So, with this additional information that I have given you, here are my 3 trade deals that could possibly tempt the Texans into sending Watson to Carolina. So, let's talk about the first trade, right? Now, this ticks all the boxes if the reports about what the Houston Texans want, for Deshaun Watson are correct. Now, the Carolina Panthers would be giving up their top 2 NFL draft selections, right, in 2021 and in 2022, providing them with 2 defensive starters who are proven and also throwing a quarterback in for good measure. So, whether the Texans would take this is another matter entirely. Convincing them to take on Kawan Short and Teddy Bridgewater's salaries would be a tough sell. And Shaq Thompson is also in line for a massive increase in pay next season. Now, Short has also had his troubles with injury over the last 2 years, but there is nothing to suggest he cannot play at a high level once again if these problems don't resurface, right? So, given how inconsistent Bridgewater was in 2020, Houston would be skeptical about bringing him in with almost no weapons to utilize in the passing game after they traded away DeAndre Hopkins and Will Fuller. So, I mean, becoming a free agent this spring, and however, this deal would also include the number 8 overall selection, which could be spent on a potential franchise signal caller. So, Bridgewater would be a nice stopgap until they can release him with minimal cost in 2022. So, the Texans might also want defensive players who are a little younger and with less in the way of financial commitment from their perspective, right? So let's go into trade number 2. All right, we're going to go into trade number 2. And the thought of trading away Christian McCaffrey just seems unfathomable. All right. Now, I know I've said it before that we might have to do that, but that was a might, right? But if positionally importance has any say in this scenario whatsoever, if the Houston Texans want the star running back, then a conversation needs to be had. Now, ideally, the Carolina Panthers would like to bring Deshaun Watson to the organization and keep McCaffrey. So, having this prolific duo in the same backfield would be a mouth-watering prospect that would give opposing defenses countless nightmares, right? Trust me, my mouth is just watering thinking about it right now. But if this is what it takes to make the trade happen, I still say so be it, guys. I know you hate this, but I still would rather have a franchise quarterback. Now, YGM, might be someone the Texans are keen on, right? They could also be losing J.J. Watt this offseason after a standout career with the franchise. And the 2020 second round pick did show flashes of brilliance during a rookie campaign that was hampered by injury and a spell on the reserve COVID-19 list. Now, getting a 6th rounder on top of Watson might not seem like much, but General Manager Scott Fritter played a key role in the Seattle Seahawks, finding some real gems later in the draft. And this is a deep class for offensive line, which is an area that Carolina needs to bolster in no uncertain terms. Now, just how well this would go down with the Panthers' loyal fan base is up for debate. The asking price seems to be putting more people off by the day, but if owner David Tepper has any say in the matter, they'll go for broke. All right, so let's get into trade number 3. Last but not least. It's going to take, let's all be honest with you here, it's going to take a king's ransom to land Deshaun Watson. Anyone who thinks otherwise, despite his obvious unhappiness, is kidding themselves. A bounty of top-end NFL draft picks is just the start. Now, the Houston Texans also want players who can make a difference for them in 2021 and possibly beyond, which might be a little rich for many people's blood, but the benefits to getting Watson are endless for the Carolina Panthers. this is a go hard or go home scenario. So parting ways with cornerback Dante Jackson could end up being a realistic proposition, despite the significant lack of depth at the position. Jackson looked like a number one corner once he finally rid himself of the toe problem that made his contribution minimal during the first half of the campaign. The former LSU standout is looking for a new deal after this season. And although the salary cap might look more prosperous by this time, there's just no telling what financial resources will be available, given how much COVID-19 is still impacting everything around us. Losing Jackson would mean the Panthers need to go after a couple of experienced cornerbacks, right? With what little money there is available, re-sign either Corn Elder or Rasul Douglas, and the hope the rookie duo of Troy Pride Jr. and Stanley Thomas Oliver can make some serious strides in the coming months. Now, Shaq Thompson clearly needs a strong linebacker alongside him to get the best out of the player. This is something the Texans could offer with Zach Cunningham. And adding Teddy Bridgewater to that package would be the icing on the cake from Carolina's point of view. So, guys, those are my 3 updated trade offers that I came up with for the Carolina Panthers to acquire Deshaun Watson. Comment down below. Let me know what you think. Pound that like button. Pound the subscribe button if you haven't already. Click that post notifications bell because you don't want to miss out on any of the videos. I got some free agent moves that I think we should take. Some guys that I think who are going to be free agents that we should probably target. And then also another mock draft. I'm either going to do it live or I'm going to do it and watch y'all make my picks. All right. So Panther Nation, Pantherologist, be on the lookout for that. And y'all know what to do. Keep pounding.